must be someplace. Now grazers, socials must be someplace with plain ordinary people.
Well, more than 40 years after The Outsiders was seen on the big screen, the classic story is now a Broadway musical. After winning 4 Tony Awards, the show is now hitting the road and will make its way to the Straz this December. GDL traveled to New York City with the Straz to preview some of what's heading here this season. Here's a look at The Outsiders.
When I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had only 2 things on my mind: Paul Newman and a ride home.
I think The Outsiders, even though it hasn't been reinvented until the musical, it's remained sort of evergreen. And I think teenagers still see themselves in it because it's an authentic portrayal of what it feels like to be young. Even though it was written in '65, the middle schoolers and high schoolers who read it now are like, yeah, that's what it's like for me. I see myself in this. And I think because we all move through our teenage years, so many firsts happen, that's when everything is brand new. Even if we're 70, we can go back in our minds when we're watching The Outsiders and feel what it felt like to be that 14-year-old. My first experience of the material was through the musical, which was kind of amazing to meet it in that form. And then I immediately went and read the book by S.E. Hinton, and I was just totally moved that this teenage girl had written this really potent, intense, amazing, heartfelt story about boys. And after that, I just started working on it with the amazing team of writers. I think a musical is the most incredible form because it's the most populous, like it's for the people. I grew up singing and I grew up doing musicals, but I never had directed one. But being inside of that world and hearing these songs and the emotionality and the storytelling of them was incredible. Jamestown Revival, the band, and Justin Levine, who composed the music with them, really wanted to showcase like Americana, and Americana has so many different influences: rock, soul, blues, and I think that they all come together to tell stories, and I think that so much American music is storytelling music. And we wanted to access that heart because, you know, Tulsa also is this incredible melting pot. It's not quite the South, it's not quite the Midwest or the West. It's this really interesting place in this country where lots of different kinds of people all collected, and I think the music reflects that diversity. I think there were certain things we creatively wanted to achieve, like the rumble in the rain, the fire sequence, these kind of visually stunning moments that also want to be very tied to storytelling. So I think harnessing all of those elements without losing the heart and the integrity of the human story that's kind of at the center of the show. Adam Rapp, who's our book writer, who's also an amazing Pulitzer Prize nominated playwright, has this incredible stage direction of the rumble where he describes the mud, the rain, the dirt, and how through the fighting of it, the boys become indistinguishable from one another, and I feel like that is such a powerful metaphor for violence, for cycles of hate, where we don't even know who we're fighting against or what we're fighting against. I made it for teenagers, and we made it for everyone, but also really for those young people, and so that they would come, so that they would bring their parents, bring their grandparents, and so that people could experience this collective thing that really understands what young people are going for and takes them really seriously. So for me, it's amazing. And also just thinking about the theater and showing young people that the theater can be for them, that it is for them, so that we can continue to create this audience as we move forward.
How excited are you to bring this show to the Tampa Bay area?
So excited. I think that Broadway is amazing, but not everybody goes to Broadway, not everybody can. And the idea of bringing this like American story across the country to all these different places so that it can hit people in different regions is so exciting. You know, The Outsiders is this story that has touched everyone, and bringing it into the community is something that I've always dreamed about. And also bringing another company of young actors for whom it will be their first big experience, to bring them to places like Tampa to deliver this story, I think will be really special.
Run, run.
And you can catch The Outsiders at the Straz this December, but there are so many other shows making its way to Tampa, including Hell's Kitchen, The Wiz, and The Notebook. You can get your season tickets right now. Go to strazcenter.org to learn more.